You are still here, lungs rising and falling, the moment stretched thin like wire about to sing. Hold it. Do not move yet. Let the silence after my last words settle on your skin like cold iron. Feel how heavy it is, how it presses against the exact place where your honor is anchored. That weight is the only real thing in the room right now. Everything else, the temptation, the anger, the hunger, the whispered justification, is vapor. Only the weight is solid, and only your next decision decides whether that weight remains the foundation you stand on or the stone you tie around your own neck before you walk into the deep. Breathe once, slowly, and follow the air all the way down until it touches the core. There, beneath muscle and bone, is the small, steady furnace that has kept you alive through every storm you have already survived. That furnace does not burn on food or sleep or victory. It burns on the certainty that you are the same man in the dark as you are in the light. The instant you break your word, the fuel line is cut. The fire does not roar out, it simply shrinks, collapses inward, becomes a cold black pit that looks exactly like the rest of you from the outside. Men will still see your face, hear your voice, shake your hand, and none of them will know the fire is gone. But you will know every minute of every day you will know, because every minute of every day you will have to pretend warmth that is no longer there. Feel it now before it happens. Feel how that furnace flares when you imagine keeping your oath even though it costs you. Feel the clean heat of it spreading outward, steadying the pulse in your wrists, lifting your shoulders, clearing your gaze. That is the sensation of still being a man. Now tilt the balance the other way. Imagine the sentence forming, the lie sliding out smooth and practiced. Watch the furnace dim. Watch the heat retreat from your extremities first, the way a dying man feels his feet go cold before the... That cold is permanent. No later apology, no future act of heroism, no pile of gold or avalanche of pleasure will ever push warmth back into those limbs. You will learn to live without it, the way a paraplegic learns to live without legs, except the world will keep demanding you stand tall and you will have to fake the strength of a man who still feels the ground under him. Go deeper. Beneath the furnace is the bedrock itself, the final plate of identity that nothing has ever cracked. Not poverty, not humiliation, not the betrayal of those you loved, not the fists of stronger men, not the slow grind of years. That bedrock has your name carved into it in letters only you can read. When you break your word, you do not merely chip the surface. You dynamite the core. The explosion is silent. No one hears it but you. The dust settles in seconds, and from the outside everything looks intact, but inside the foundation is powder. Every step you take afterward settles you. 10 years, 20 years, you will feel the slow sinking. The way a house built on blast rubble subsides into the earth no matter how many times you repaint the walls. You will tell yourself, it is age, it is fatigue, it is the world. It is not. It is the measurable collapse of the ground you yourself shattered on the night you opened your mouth and let treason out. Lower still. There is a chamber most men never locate until the moment they betray themselves. It has no name because language fails there. It is the place where the boy you were hands over the keys to the man you decided to become. The handoff happened quietly years ago when you first chose to keep a hard promise instead of an easy lie. In that moment, the boy stepped aside and the man stepped forward and the keys were heavy and you felt taller. If you betray your word tonight, the man will not simply step back, he will be erased. The boy will not return to take the key. There will be only a hollow adult, walking around with no one truly at the controls. You will make decisions, you will speak, you will acquire and discard, but every action will carry the faint echo of a vacant house. People will sense it eventually. Dogs will sense it first. Children will sense it next. They will not be able to name what is wrong with your eyes, but they will stop trusting them. Deeper. Beneath that chamber is the final dark, the absolute zero where the last fragment of unowned self waits. It is inviolable. No external force can reach it. Only you can walk down the stairs, open the door, and strangle what is left. When a man is tortured, he can retreat to this place and remain intact. The pain stays on the surface, the core stays pure. When a man chooses betrayal, he does not retreat here. He drags the darkness up the stairs with him and wears it like a second skin. From that night forward, he is the torture. He wakes as the rack, he walks as the whip, he sleeps as the Iron Maiden closing inch by inch. There is no interrogator but his own man. There is no respite but death. And even death will not be clean because he will suspect correctly that whatever comes after will smell the smoke on him and turn away. Stay with me. We are almost at the bottom now. Feel the pressure increasing, the way deep water presses on a diver's chest long before his lungs demand air. That pressure is the accumulated weight of every man who ever stood exactly where you stand now and chose to hold the line. Their combined gaze is on you. Not judging, simply watching, the way mountains watch a man decide whether to climb or turn back. They know what it costs to climb. They know what it costs to turn. They are not angry at those who turn, they are simply no longer able to recognize them as brothers. The brotherhood of men who keep their word is not a club with rules, it is a fact of nature, like gravity. Step off the edge and you do not fall far, you simply cease to be subject to the same law. You become weightless in the world. Things float around you, through you, past you, but nothing ever lands again. No oath you give will ever have mass. No promise you make will ever stick. You will speak words and watch them drift away like smoke, and the people you speak to will learn to step back from the smell. One more level. There is a silence deeper than death. It is the silence that begins the instant the treacherous sentence leaves your lips. All other silences in life have texture. The silence before battle. The silence after a woman says yes. The silence of snowfall. This silence has none. It is the silence of amputation performed by your own hand while you are still using the limb. You will live inside that silence for decades. You will fill rooms with noise, laughter, arguments, music, the clink of glasses. And the silence will sit in the center of every room, untouched, waiting. You will lie beside sleeping lovers and feel it stretched out between you like a cold. You will stand in crowds and feel it wider than any desert. You will achieve everything men chase, and the silence will applaud with the slow clap of a man who already knows how the story ends. Now surface slowly. Come back up through the layers you just traveled. Feel each chamber as you pass it again, the vanished furnace, the shattered bedrock, the strangled core, the vacant house, the weightless exile, the endless silence. They are still only possibilities. The stairs are still open behind you. The door at the top is still closed. Your hand has not yet turned the key. Your tongue has not yet formed the lie. The vacuum has not begun its eternal inhale. You are still whole. You are still the man who can look any version of his future self in the eye without flinching. Hold that wholeness. Grip it the way a drowning man grips the rope thrown to him. Grip it until your knuckles go white and your jaw aches. That ache is the last pain you will ever feel while still owning yourself. Let it hurt. Let it. The burn is proof the fire is still alive. The alternative is a cold so complete that pain itself forgets your address. The moment is thinning again. The temptation is circling back, speaking in its reasonable voice, telling you it is only words, only this once, only a small adjustment no one will ever know. Listen to how reasonable it sounds. That is how death always sounds when it knocks politely. Do not open. Stand still. Plant your feet. Let the next breath you take be the deepest you have ever drawn, down to the roots of you. Let it fill every chamber we just visited. Let it feed the furnace until the heat roars against your ribs and steams out your eyes. Then speak whatever words you must speak, but let them be the same words you gave when your blood was cool and your vision was clear. Let them cost you everything except the one thing no man can afford to lose. Because if you do not, if you let the lie out now, the vacuum begins, and nothing that happens afterward will ever be loud enough to. You will live a long life, perhaps a successful one, certainly a free one, and every morning you will wake inside a tomb you built with your own mouth on this night. The stone will have your name on it, carved by your own hand, and the epitaph will read, "Here lies a man who killed himself while his heart was still beating. Choose. The gate is still closed, the fire is still yours to tend or to betray. Hold the line or step into the dark and close the door forever from the inside. Hold the